Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Let's Get Local here Saturday, February 20th. Thanks so much for joining us here on a Saturday and for the program. As we got a lot of great guests on today, we hope to bring you some great stories and some inspiration and turn you on to some of our local events and wonderful places and venues here right around this South Central Wisconsin that we all live and love. And love a little bit more this week, Jimmy, because the temperatures are coming up just a touch.
I feel like we need to wear shorts. The balmy weather is just around the corner, Jason.
I know, it's good. I mean, 30s and 40s. It's been a while. Oh, okay. Our first guest, he's got shorts on. He wore shorts to work. So he's ready to go. Shorts and a t-shirt.
As long as it's not a Zoom accident wearing shorts.
Exactly, yeah. Well, Jimmy, how you doing this week? Doing well?
I'm doing great. Thank you. How are you?
Doing okay. Yeah, I mean, we're pushing through things, and there's still challenges. There's still things happening that aren't great in the world, but there's a lot of hope and a lot of good things happening. That's what we're here to highlight today, too. So we're going to jump into it.
Excellent.
Our first guest is the owner of Pancake Cafe Stoughton, just to get you thinking food and get you a little hungry. And Jimmy K and I were both talking about pancakes just a moment ago. So we're going to bring in Drew now, the owner of Pancake Cafe Stoughton. Drew, good morning to you, sir. How are you?
Phenomenal morning. Loving life, living the dream. Thanks for having me.
Now, did you even bring a coat? Was it just shorts and t-shirts the whole way from your car to work, or what was it?
I'm shorts and t-shirt, even like negative 30-degree weather. I'm Sicilian and Mexican, so I'm warm-blooded.
Beautiful. All right, Drew, tell us a little bit about Pancake Cafe Stoughton and just where the business is, how people can find it, and your current services.
Sure. We're out here in Stoughton, Wisconsin, of course, right off of Highway 138. We're directly in front of the Walmart, so it's pretty hard to miss us. Offering breakfast food, lunch food, dinner. We're actually open till 8 p.m. now. We're the only pancake cafe that's open till 8 o'clock Sunday through Thursday. Cake.net. You can do online orders, and we also do deliveries now. So you can call us at 205-6655, and we deliver to Stoughton, Oregon, McFarland, the town of Dunn, anywhere within a 7-mile radius.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I know when that development came out and we saw the Pancake Cafe go in there, right away we went and checked that out. My kids and I and family, and enjoyed it. Great food, great stuff there, good prices. I mean, it's a good place if you're looking for a bite. Obviously, the pancakes are a big feature, but you have pretty much a whole bunch of things on the menu there. What are some of the highlights?
Oh man, we introduced a specials menu probably around May or June when we open back up. We have a hangover burrito that people really love. It's Italian beef, pepper jack cheese, onions, peppers, French fries, chipotle mayo, all wrapped up in the flour tortilla. We have a chicken and sausage gravy. We actually hand bread and cut all of our chicken breasts, toss it in seasoned flour. We hand make the sausage gravy. That's been very popular. I just introduced chicken and waffles yesterday. That was delicious. But yeah, a lot of our chorizo's handmade. The breakfast burrito's phenomenal. We are definitely more than just pancakes at Pancake Cafe.
Although my kids still have said your chocolate chip pancakes are the best they've had.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Pretty great, that's for sure. Something interesting, Drew, that, when we just exchanged and talked about having you on the show, was you talked a little bit about, we're a restaurant, here's what we are, but we're so much more than that. I know you personally said there's someone that affected your life and really helped steer your life direction to who you are now. Tell us a little bit more about that journey.
Absolutely. When I was younger, of course, I had the pleasure of working for Bonefish Grill under Chef Rod. And for those who know Chef Rod Ladson, he was a very credible man. He was involved in, many for-profit and non-for-profit organizations. I was able to work with him day by day, iron sharpening iron. He taught me about school, kids, love, women, business, bringing people together, and just, always putting other people before yourself. And he really taught me servant leadership. The best thing that he could ever say to me as a compliment was to say nothing to me. And man, I miss him every day, but he was more than a friend. He was more than a mentor. He was more than a father. He was more than an idol to me while he was here. So
That's amazing to find people like that in our lives, and then look what you've done and taken and run with that. What got you into cooking and wanting to do this?
Um, when I was working with Chef Rod, we did a teacher appreciation event for an elementary school in Madison, Wisconsin, Sandberg Elementary. And we brought people together. We brought educators and their spouses, and we provided them with food and raffled off teacher appreciation bags and had a couple of students give teacher appreciation speeches. And it was just a very impactful and valuable service that we provide to a community. And it was beyond belief to me. I didn't know how impactful it was until I started, going back to that school and picking up my son and teachers placing their hand on my shoulders and saying, Drew, we really appreciate what you did for us. I've been an educator for 30 years, never felt better in my life. But that moment, I decided I wanted to be, as impactful and as valuable to communities that I can. And I decided I wanted to empower as many people as I can for as long as I can and for many more years after. So I decided, hey, someday I'm going to own my own restaurant. I'm going to host empowering events and activities, and I'm going to build a brand, and I'm going to get people to, the employees to buy into what we do. And 4 or 5 years later, we saw an opportunity as a family and an investment team, and we did it, and we're doing it. It just so happened to be a month before COVID, so.
Hey, that's where I was going next. It's been a challenging time for everybody, of course, but you've found a lot of ways to continue that philanthropic nature, in Stoughton and area communities. I know you listed off some things to me, just incredible stuff you've been doing. Tell us and tell the audience about some of those things that you've done in the last 11 months.
Well, I mean, first and foremost, we couldn't have achieved any of this without our phenomenal employees here at Pancake, without the phenomenal businesses locally here in Stoughton and some in Madison and Oregon and McFarland. It was really a team effort. In April and May, Primal Strength and Fitness and Pancake Cafe Stoughton, we partnered together to feed over 2,000 kids breakfast and lunch. That was an incredible thing. Again, people from the local community gave donations for us to help run a pantry as well. In May, we actually had Aaron Weber from Aaron Weber Group, a real estate agent, donate money for us to feed first responders and medical staff. So we'd have people from the Stoughton Hospital coming in at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, getting their homemade corned beef, getting their Jones Farm sausage and eggs. And we did that for a couple of months. We partnered with the Boys and Girls Club in May and June to actually deliver hot breakfast food to Stoughton and Oregon, Stoughton Police Department, Oregon Fire Department, so on and so forth. That was phenomenal. And then we actually partnered with TDS back in August, September, and October, and we did what was called Wellness Wednesdays, which was really cool. We had people coming in, and outside we were doing social distance activities such as yoga, Pilates, work classes. We did that with Ruji Wellness and Level Up, which is a gym in Stoughton as well. And we actually were able to partner with Palette Pleasures, which is a catering company in Madison, where Chef Patience was actually able to provide healthy meals to all the participants to go. And then we provided not healthy, but chicken tenders and fries for the kids. So we told all the moms it was a women's wellness day. The husbands had to fend for themselves. Some of the two biggest events that I would say that we did that were very impactful and brought tears to my eyes is we partnered with Palette Pleasures and TDS and other local gyms, other local businesses, one community bank, and many local sponsors to feed over 300 adults and children hot Thanksgiving food on Thanksgiving Day. We did that with Palette Pleasures as well. I actually turned 33 on Thanksgiving, so we shut the restaurant down. Dan Pruer was my volunteer coordinator. Big shout out to him. I couldn't have done it without him. We had 22 volunteer drivers that were socially distanced outside. We had one family of 6 packing all the food. Yeah, really beyond belief how a community came together to do that. And then our last event in December, what was called a Santa's Workshop. We received donations for toys and clothes, for the youth to come and actually pick out gifts for other people. So we had, toddlers coming in. Who are you shopping for? And they're like, oh, I'm shopping for my grandma. I'm shopping for my brother or sister. That was really cool. We did a gift wrapping station, and we provided hot chocolate and treats as well. And Mr. and Mrs. Claus were there. So
That's amazing, Drew. That's such a list, and it's the power of local organizations and groups working together too. Like you said, I mean, you just named off all these other groups that got together with you for these efforts, and that's what we see so much from our local businesses and organizations. It's amazing stuff. I just want to say thank you for all of that. I mean, you were a new business owner. You got all these, had all these big challenges come up with COVID and all of that, and you still continued to be true to yourself and your mission and everything you wanted to continue to do. So that's fantastic, man. Big props to you on that.
I appreciate that. I learned from the best. Chef Rod, like I tell you, he was he's probably the best mentor I'll ever have in this lifetime. And to reminisce and to remember our conversations and our one-on-ones, and go through that. It drives me every day to be a.
Drew, we appreciate your time so much and everything you're doing over there at Pancake Cafe Stoughton. You can find out more about them at pancakecafe.com, and give them a shout, give them a look, and give them some love. Thanks, Drew, for your time. Take care, okay? We'll catch you on the other side of the break. You're listening to Devil Radio 92.7 FM. Back here on Devil Radio 92.7 FM, 1580 AM. Thanks for listening to Let's Get Local each and every Saturday. Again, the show is replayed on Sundays at the same time. This whole great Saturday lineup replayed on Sundays in case you miss it Saturday. So don't be concerned in case you don't catch a Saturday, 1580 AM or 92.7 FM. You can still catch the show. And of course, you can call into the show 844-967-2789 to tell us your favorite shout out for your favorite local business anytime you like. We'll take those and try to get those on air for you. Right now, though, we turn our attention to Mr. Colin Murray from Dame by Local. Colin, how are you today?
I'm good. After listening to Drew there, I'm kind of hungry, though. I think I'm going to go down to Pancake Cafe.
That was the idea. We start you off hungry, and then we kind of, go from there. So, Colin, I know there's so much happening with Dame by Local, and we've talked about a lot the last few weeks, but there's so much in connection with other groups that we know about, too, local events, local happenings, and you've got a list of them you wanted to talk about today. So let's tell everybody about things that are taking place in our community that are good things to support.
Yeah, so there's a ton of stuff going on. So I just have a few of the things that are coming up here in the next few days that I wanted to mention to people. So one of them is Delta Beer Lab over on Badger Lane on the south side of the city, southeast side of the city. They are turning 2 years old, and they are celebrating as a result of that. In fact, that's today, starting at noon today. They're going to have various ways that you can celebrate, either by driving up, virtually or in person, where you can take advantage and indulge in a beer or two. So I thought that'd be an appropriate way to start out our segment here with a little beer, right?
Absolutely. Colin, let me say one quick thing about Delta Beer Lab. Such an interesting business and concept. And if you look up how it started and the story behind it, it's really incredible. And I have, I've got some friends that are pretty big into science, one who actually works in a science lab. And so next time he came to Madison, we were all set to go, and then COVID hit and all that. But we want to drink beer out of beakers. We just want to do that. And Delta Beer Lab lets you do that. It's fantastic.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. They've got a great model over there, and they've been hit hard by the pandemic. So they definitely need the support. So check them out. You can find more information at www.delta.beer. I didn't know there was a .beer. out there, but that's our website, so check them out that way. All right. So next we've got Sustain Dane, a fine nonprofit here in Madison, talking about sustainability. And they have a program coming up called Accelerate Sustainability Workshop. It's free. There are 2 sessions. One is on February 25th, and the second one is on March 25th. These are 1-hour sessions that will be taking a look at various aspects of sustainability. So you can find more information by reaching out to their partner, which is visitmadison.com, and you go to partnership at visitmadison.com for more information. They can fill you in on the details there. Great organization. We need to make sure to be supporting Sustain Dane in all their efforts here in the Madison area. All right, another kind of fun event that's coming up is the Monroe Street Curbside Carryout Kit. That's a mouthful for sure, but this is really cool. I like this idea. So it includes turkey and wild rice soup, bread and salad from Brasserie V, 4 specialty beers from Garth's Brew Bar, a pina colada mix from Everly, and a 1,000-piece puzzle box from Mystery to Me. So how fun is that? That whole kit put it together. You'll have a good evening event with that. It's intended for 2 to 3 people, and the price is $85. You can go to monroestreetmadison.com for more information on that particular project. So fun project that you can do. They're going to have, by the way, the pickup on that is either February 25th or February 27th. So you've got a couple of different opportunities there. So check that out, monroestreetmadison.com.
Colin, I love how creative people are getting. It's been a long winter. We had this long stretch, difficult times, and people are like, we've got to get some fun out to folks, and they're finding unique and creative ways to do it. So I love that.
Great idea. And, I'd love to see more of this sort of thing. And you are starting to see more of that pop up here where businesses are collaborating together. That's what it's all about. We got to all work together to survive, right? Keep our local businesses out there. So one that's probably near and dear to your heart, Jason, is the Big Share. So this is put on by Community Shares of Wisconsin. They do this as an annual event, a fundraiser for their 70 or so nonprofit groups that they have. They're focused on equity, just community, and environmental issues. So certainly something that's near and dear to many of us here in the Madison area, Dane County. So the Big Share this year is on March 2nd, and it'll be all over the place. Facebook is a great place to do that. And I know you're involved with that with Project Home and your efforts over there. You're one of the members of Community Shares. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's going to be the 7th annual online giving event. It's kind of like a day and a half now. But it's just such a great awareness event for a lot of local, small nonprofit advocacy groups and other groups working on some important issues to sustain our community and improve our community. And on top of it, we also raise a lot of money at the same time, but it's really 2-pronged. It's getting the word out, awareness for so many great groups, and then also the dollars. So there's multiple ways to participate. You obviously can't donate to all 70 nonprofits, but you can help share the information and participate online, and that helps reach other people, which can raise more dollars.
Exactly. And I think you've got Sherry from Community Shares coming on. Is it next week onto the show?
Yeah, we're going to talk to Sherry next week and get the scoop on the latest and all the new happenings. It's a little different this year with COVID and everything else, but it's still going to be a very fun and exciting event.
Yeah, great. So that's coming up on March 2nd. You can go to thebigshare.org for more information on that particular thing. Then just a couple things as far as Dane Bay Local is concerned. Of course, we've got the Soups On event that continues. You can order through midnight tonight for this week for pickup next Tuesday at Feed Kitchen. So that continues to take place. As it stands right now, this program is going to run through March 9th. And we just had a big development that happened this morning that I can't announce yet, but I've got good news for West Siders and a little extension to the project. So we're going to work out the details, and we'll hopefully later this next week, we'll have a big announcement as far as the Soups On project is concerned. But order today to pick up next Tuesday over at Feed Kitchen.
Oh, Colin, I thought we were gonna drop some brand new urgent news right here on Let's Get Local this morning, Colin. You almost had us. We have to go to a break, Colin. Thanks for all the great info, though. Keep up the great work. Support your community. Support everybody out there. Go local. And Colin Murray from Dane by Local, bunch more and all those happenings, danebylocal.com. Colin, take care. Thanks so much for all the good updates, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks, Jason. Take care.
All right, we'll be back in just a moment here on Devil Radio 92.7 FM. Again, thank our sponsors, Madison Water Utility and Evolution Financial. If you want to be a sponsor, reach out to Devil Radio. Be back in a bit.
Rocker, we gave the people live music. Isn't that what they wanted?
Of course not, Jimmy. Give the people live music, and they'll set up a brat stand with a beer caddy.
Will Rocker get his beer and brat? Catch Max Inc. Radio this Saturday evening to find out. We'll have the best of local music from Wisconsin and live music performed in the Devil's Lair. Go to maxincradio.com for the live music schedule. Max Inc. Radio starts at 6 on Devil Radio 92.7 FM.
Did you bring a lawn chair, Jimmy?
This is Don from the Devil's Advocates. Cody and I have been doing this show for almost 10 years, and we've never had a more engaged, dialed in, and motivated audience. And we love them for it. Now is the time for you to reach.
Hey Jason, how are you?
Call now and advertise with the Devil's Advocates.
Good, Ben.
92.7 FM and
Yes, can we okay?
Like, wow, Scoob, it's Devil Radio. Rebel Radio.
Welcome back here on Let's Get Local as we get into the second half of the show. Again, listening to Devil Radio 92.7 FM, 1580 AM. And we do have to thank our sponsors, Madison Water Utility. Again, they have that $100 toilet rebate program going that you can access as a Madison Water Utility customer. Change your toilet to an updated EPA WaterSense toilet, and you get a $100 bill pay credit. Also, Evolution Financial and SUPEC, great local business, great person, integrity, and just simply the best. So if you're looking for financial support, help, guidance, anything related to that, SUPEC, certified financial planner at Evolution Financial. Okay, our next guest is Ben from the Eloise, and we're going to talk to Ben here about a really interesting situation that's happened with the pandemic, but also the journey and where Ben found himself getting to. And I think that's the really inspiring part about all of this. And we're trying to help inspire today with Drew setting us up, Colin talking about local events, and now Ben Martinelli from the Eloise. Ben, good morning, and thanks for being on the program today.
Good morning, Jason. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
So the Eloise is an event venue that you opened in 2020, right?
Yep.
Beautiful space. And tell us a little bit about what it is, and then we'll talk about the rest of the story.
Yeah, for sure. So we're the Eloise. Me and my wife are co-owners. We started construction in January, been really planning our business for 4 or 5 years now, and started construction in January, finished up in August. And then, as we all know, pandemic hit March, and we've been pretty much empty since August. So really unique space, 2 levels, indoor ceremony space, reception space, great outdoor ceremony area to kind of get lost in, don't get lost, but get lost in 6.5 acres of our property. Just really great. All-in-one venue. So you can just show up at 10 a.m. and host your event and not leave till midnight.
And that's located where?
In Mount Horeb. So it's just about 2 miles south of the high school in Mount Horeb.
Yeah, you can look at information on the website too, the EloiseEvents.com, and see just some incredibly stunning pictures, photos of the event space, and it really is lovely. So then we know what happened with the pandemic and everything. Now it's obviously hit the events industry extremely hard. And you guys, you went from having all of these bookings, I'm sure, to what proceeded then once COVID took place.
Yep. Yeah, no, it's definitely been tough. I think there's been some great things that we've came to realize through what's happened with the pandemic. We've really formed some amazing partnerships and friendships with a lot of the local venues around, since we're all in the same situation. And I'll be honest to say we're lucky to only be open in August and have 4 months of, reschedulings and, stuff going on, where a lot of our other venue friends like the Tinsmith and Loft 132, Fields Reserve, they've had almost an entire calendar year to reschedule. So we've all been hurt, right? So we've lost, roughly in Dane County, all of our venues have pretty much lost 100% of our revenue, except for those handful of first 3 months. So we've lost all this revenue, and we unfortunately don't have a pivot. Our business models are based on social gatherings. So it's been tough to figure out an alternate way to bring in some revenue. We've been able to do some micro weddings and ceremonies to get some revenue, but obviously it hasn't been enough. So we've actually tried to band together. We started a Wisconsin wedding event venue coalition, and it was based pretty much coming from the 10 venues that we have in Dane County. And we're trying to advocate at the state level now to try to get grant funding for venues, since we've been shut down pretty much the longest, and then we're probably going to be the slowest and last to reopen. So we're trying to work with state officials to get some grant money set aside in this new American Rescue Plan to help us get through these next handful of months until we can start really hosting events and weddings.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's great to have partnered with other groups in the same boat and really trying to make your voices heard that way. I think that was important for you to do. Obviously not something you're expecting to do when you started the business, but that's where you found yourself. And kudos to you guys for doing that. You advocated for yourselves. I think the other thing that was missed here, and that I talked to you, and because I know Eric as well with the Tinsmith, and it was that even some of the funding that came through, some of the assistance that came down, businesses like yourselves that started in 2020 were left out of that. That was an oversight. And that made it so you had nowhere to turn. I mean, a lot of businesses at least could get the PPP funding. That wasn't even an option for you. So it made it that much more important that you guys said, look, hey, what about us here? There are a lot of people like us who started businesses in 2020 and you left out of this funding. So can you find a way to work with us?
For sure. And that's the thing that is, it's forced us to do that. Right. And I think, the government has done a pretty good job of getting, a bulk of money and funding to businesses that really need it. Right. But it's left a gap for new businesses. Right. If you started your business, end of 2019 or in 2020, all the requirements that for any grant funding or pre-PP is you had to have a tax return for 2019, or you had to have payroll, through February of 2020, where a lot of new businesses, and I'm sure everybody, owners don't get to pay themselves for the first couple of years, so there's just not that backup. So we're trying to work with local government. And I think that's where we're going to see really good opportunity here with both with Dane County and also at the state level with this new influx of money to the state and local governments they want to help and find these businesses that have slipped through the cracks to get them the money that they need to get going. So we've had some really good conversations going the last 3 weeks. We did get 58 businesses on board, venues on board for this coalition. So it's really growing, after reaching out to 100. So I think there's really great, we got some really good momentum going, got some people listening. We got a meeting scheduled with Senator Baldwin next Friday. So I think it's definitely been challenging and unique, and something that I did not expect when, running my small business and running events. Like me and my wife just wanted to throw parties, and that's really, for a living. So it's been different, but it's been kind of nice getting to know local politicians, and, there's some great ones out there that really do want to help.
When we get, the majority of people vaccinated and can have big gatherings again, is there any, with all these connections now, is there any thought or discussion about having a gigantic party with all of you kind of collaborating in some way?
Yes, that is 100% happening. We joke about it. I think every Zoom call we have, whose place we're going to go to first and have a drink after, when this is all over. So I think there's going to be a competition on who's going to host the party. So that'll be nice. It's been really great just to meet with these people and learn, people are in the same situation as us, and we can band together, even though we are competitors, though we offer different aspects with our venues. Just knowing that there's somebody in your court to battle with you is pretty great.
Ben, I applaud you for the work you guys have done. You're just stick-to-itiveness here. Obviously, you got to love and really want to have passion to have that type of business if you're going to make it through all this, and you guys have shown that. So congrats on that, and hang in there, man. I mean,
yeah, no, we will.
We're all doing what we can for you. I know Dane by Local's trying to help out a bit in the county, but keep working those other angles, because that's where we're going to see some big relief, hopefully, for people in the events industry. But thanks for telling your story, Ben. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. No, I appreciate you having me on.
All right. That's Ben, the owner of the Eloise. Ben and his wife. You can find out more about them, of course, and the great event venue, the EloiseEvents.com. And, hey, throw a little support their way. If they do have some smaller event, you can participate. Please do. Please consider it, because they're local business owners too, and we want to show them some love. Ben, take care of yourself. We'll talk to you again soon, and we're looking for some good relief, hopefully, for everyone in the event industry coming up.
For sure. We're looking forward to it too. Thank you, Jason, very much.
That's Ben Martinelli of the Eloise. Jimmy, before we head to break, just wanted to put a couple things out there. This is an interesting scenario. One of the reasons I really wanted to talk to Ben in particular was because of this kind of situation for businesses that started in 2020. And there were all of these connections and requirements over to some of the PPP fundraising was you had to show a loss from 2019 to be eligible. So what does a business that started in 2020 do?
That's a good question. I don't have that answer. I went through the PPP. Of course, I had some business behind me last couple of years, so I was able to give the bank what they needed for that. But yeah, that's a tough situation,
I mean, Chef Oscar at Migrants, same boat. I mean, different industry, a restaurant industry, but his business was drastically affected. And because he didn't open Migrants until 2020, same exact boat for him.
Right. Are they just out of luck? I mean, are they just not available to get PPP at all at that point? Or
correct. That was the first couple of rounds. That's what happened. But that's what hopefully with this newest sequence and now the government officials are fully aware of that and recognize that miss. But they had to have people like Ben and the Eloise bring it to their attention to say, hey, you guys missed us on this. We need help too. So they're working on it. Help is coming. Stay safe, everybody, and stay positive.
Absolutely. And let's hope that, the new stimulus package in some form will help the small business owners all over,
Exactly. That's what we're going for. You're listening to Double Radio, 92.7 FM, 1580 AM. Again, you can call into the show with your shout out for your local business of choice. We love local restaurants. We love local venues like the Eloise, like the Tinsmith and others. And you can call 844-967-2789. We'll catch you on the other side of the break. Be back in just a bit.
Thanks, Jason. Appreciate it.
Rocker, we gave the people live music. Isn't that what they wanted?
Of course not, Jimmy. Give the people live music, and they'll set up a brat stand with a beer caddy.
On Devil Radio 92.7 FM and WTTN 1580 AM, McFarland's choice for essential radio.
Back on Let's Get Local here as we round out the program. Going to talk to you and give you an update here from about COVID testing, COVID vaccine distribution. We know there's been a lot happening there and some disruptions with this weather that's taking place and overtaking the country and caused so many issues, but some other good things to talk about too and get the updates from the source, Mr. Thad Schumacher from Fitchburg Family Pharmacy. Thad, good morning, and thanks for being on Let's Get Local today.
Hey, good morning, and thanks for having me. Hope everybody is enjoying the warm weather we're having today.
We're turning the corner on the weather, and that's the first bright spot, so we like that. Thad, you have such a great local pharmacy over in Fitchburg. Please tell everybody where they can find it and all the services you provide.
Sure. So we're located at the corner of High Ridge Trail and Fish Hatchery Road. So if you're south of the Beltline at High Ridge Trail, you can see us right there off of Fish Hatchery Road. And we do all kinds of services. And with COVID, we've enhanced our services even more. So we have always offered free delivery through the entire Madison area. We do packaging for medication to help people who have strange or unique medication regimens. And then now we are also doing COVID testing curbside. As of this week, we crossed the 4,000 test mark since November 1st. And we're doing COVID vaccines out the front of the pharmacy, also a drive-through. It's important that we keep everybody safe. So we do all the walking out to the curb. And we just crossed the threshold of 1,000 vaccines given since January 12th.
Wow. We'll get a little more into that in just a second, but I did want to say that, we love local pharmacies. And I think there's such an interesting thing about that, because obviously everybody knows there are a lot of different options for pharmacies. But Thad, tell us a little bit more about going with a local pharmacy. What are some of the benefits that you try to provide your customers?
Sure. So one of the things that we get compliments of by a certain generation when they come in the pharmacy is, this is just like my grandmother's pharmacy. And I take that as such a compliment, because that's exactly what we're going for. We're going for a business that is local, owned locally. The people who work in the pharmacy are local. It's the same people behind the counter every time you come to the pharmacy or every time you call. And we're about building relationships and meeting people wherever they are in their life journey.
I think I think the customer service really stands out going with the local pharmacy there. And that, I think the longer you're a customer in any industry, the more you really appreciate that customer service. So I think that's something people come around to pretty quickly once they get to experience it. You can find out more about Fitchburg Family Pharmacy. They have a website, whatagreatpharmacy.com. That's all run together, whatagreatpharmacy.com. Wonderful place to find out some more there. Thad, let's turn our attention to COVID testing and vaccines at the moment. You talked about having over 4,000 COVID tests so far. I know that was kind of a really nice boost, hopefully, for access to people when local pharmacies and pharmacies started testing too. That's something that you must, how did you get into that? Because not all pharmacies are doing COVID tests.
Sure. So the state of Wisconsin had asked for a pilot program to be formed for anyone who wanted to do COVID testing. Pharmacies are a natural fit for that because we already serve people and meet people on a daily basis. And so for us, we knew that we were in the heart of Dane County, and that the mainstay of COVID testing in Dane County has been the Alliant Energy Center, and they've done a great job. But the lines are long. And so anything we could do to relieve that, we thought was important to do. And so we set up basically a Monday through Friday testing situation where we did appointment only. And the only reason we really did appointments is just so we wouldn't have the same line that they have at Alliant Energy Center. We can't have people, lined up 3 and 4 blocks down the street. So
I think that's a wonderful service and great way for you to take that step to get into it and provide some relief, and also bring some testing closer to home for certain people, which is great. And then the whole vaccination portion, again, that's another thing too. Not all pharmacies are administering vaccines at this point. How did that come about for Fitchburg Family Pharmacy?
Sure. So the state of Wisconsin put out their guidelines back in probably September. Seems like a long time ago now. And we started preparing so that we could meet the requirements that they had laid out. Their requirements are very similar to the federal government's criteria for giving vaccinations. And so we have been working on this since like November to get ready and prepare. And so when January 11th came and they green lighted sending out vaccine, we were one of the first pharmacies to get it. Yeah, it's been a kind of a roller coaster ever since.
Which vaccine is available through Fitchburg Family Pharmacy?
Sure. So we've been given the Pfizer vaccine every week at this point. We are, I guess, on week 8 of testing or of vaccines. So they have asked us in every survey. So every week, the pharmacy is asked to submit a survey that asks for how many doses they want the next week. And every week they ask if the resources are such that we can't provide you Pfizer, are you okay switching to Moderna? And every week we say, yes, we do that. It's important for us that we have vaccine and that we can give it to people. We will work with whatever logistics have to be worked with if we were to switch.
I think that's good to note as well, how flexible you're being in that situation, just trying to, get vaccines to people who want them. And that's such an important resource. And again, the quicker we can get through that process, the quicker we're going to all get through this situation. With that, there have been some delays with vaccine. And again, that has a lot to do with the weather. I'm sure, I know my parents were set to get their vaccines yesterday up in northeastern Wisconsin, and they had to reschedule that because of shipments due to this crazy weather that's gone across the whole country. Is that also impacting us here in Dane County, I'm assuming?
Yes. So there was already kind of a shortage in terms of how much vaccine Wisconsin was getting, and then wasn't able to fulfill all its orders for the past couple of weeks. And then this weather that we had over the last 7 days or so actually delayed vaccine shipments to other states completely. And so I think that the federal government is kind of in a pickle to, get vaccine to those states that missed a whole week before they can send vaccine to us again. And so from what we've been told, we may be delayed at least a day for our normal vaccine delivery, which impacts us because we have people scheduled already, so we'll have to reschedule them. But basically we have it set up that we can go over to the hub and pick up the vaccine whenever it actually gets to Dane County. And that's just something we do to hurry along the process, so we're not waiting for a delivery service to bring it to us.
I think that's important too, to take those extra steps. And that's what you've kind of shown. I mean, you talk about delivering to your services as well, and taking that extra step and trying to get vaccine to folks. That's fantastic. What, if people want to sign up for a vaccine right now, what's the process for them with your pharmacy?
Sure. So we have a link on our website at whatagreatpharmacy.com. You can go and click on the contact list for COVID-19 vaccine. That'll allow you to self-select a group that you fit in, and it will allow you to leave your email and phone number. And once we get that information, we are compiling it, and then we're going through and inviting people to make appointments, basically in the order in which they're prioritized by the state.
Is there anything new about the vaccine dosage or other numbers that we've seen in recent studies that you could share?
Sure. I know there are some studies showing that the Pfizer and the Moderna vaccine have great coverage after their first dose. And so there's some suggestion that maybe what we should consider is giving everyone a first dose and delaying the second dose to some time in the future. I don't think those studies have been completed yet to know whether that's something that's really recommended. I have concerns on the logistical side of if you start spreading out the doses, there'd be concern that people wouldn't get back in for their second dose at some point in the future. So having it regimented where everybody's on the same cycle, I think it helps to complete the vaccinations.
Great. Thanks for those updates. I know, because I saw some articles too about things they're doing and talking about that. I just wondered if there's anything definitive yet. So we appreciate that.
Yeah, nothing definitive yet.
Okay. Thad, thanks so much for everything you're doing to help our community, not just with your regular services, but also during this incredible pandemic time. You're really stepping up with the testing, with vaccines, and being a resource for us as well here on the radio. So we appreciate all your support and all your help and everything you do there in Fitchburg and the surrounding community. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me. And I would just tell people to be patient, and that the vaccinators of Wisconsin will continue to vaccinate until there are no more arms to stick. So
thanks, Thad. Take care of yourself. We appreciate it so much. Again, Fitchburg Family Pharmacy over in Fitchburg. You can find them also at whatagreatpharmacy.com. Find out more about them. Thad, take care and have a great Saturday, okay?
You too. Thank you.
Jimmy K, we're just about wrapping up here. Thanks for your help today. We thank again, great production as always.
Thank you. And a great guest today. I love this show because of the guests that you bring on.
Hey, we try to bring the news to the people in a fun way, but also an informative way. We're trying to do that here on the show and highlight our local businesses. Again, thanks to Colin, thanks to Thad, thanks to Ben Martinelli of the Eloise. Sorry, I'm stumbling a little bit today. And Drew. Don't forget about Drew and Pancake Cafe. Back to those pancakes. It's almost time to eat, everybody. Our sponsors, Madison Water Utility, Evolution Financial, Thanks so much. And thanks to Devil Radio and everybody here for letting us have a voice. We'll be back next week for more Let's Get Local. Stay local, buy local, be local. Catch you next Saturday.